Nade, you've been at this for hours now. I really think you should take a break and run a diagnostics.
I'm fine. If anything was wrong, believe me, I would know.
Oh, would you look at that? Your arm fell off. Surely you must be in the best condition.
It's just a flesh wound.
Look, I'll get the Metars to set up your diagnostic chamber.
Peach, I said I'm fine. Okay, yeah, maybe a break's alright.
Should I get the Metars?
Nah, I'll just sit this one off.
Sit this. Nade, you're not organic. You're not gonna just heal.
I'll get to the repairs later. Right now, I've got way more important things to do.
Which would be what?
This episode's fan mail!
Nade, we don't have a fan mail segment.
Well, we should have one.
We need more fans for that, Nade.
That's true. Man, this sucks. I bust my ass so hard making this show, and for what? 50 views? 100 if I'm lucky?
Aw, Nade. It's not about the views.
Well, then what is it about?
Well, you do have viewers. You've got people cheering you on. Sure, it's not like 1 million. Heck, it's not even a full 1,000. But those fans of yours look up to you and believe in what you're doing. They want you to succeed. And when that day finally comes, you'll have them to thank for it.
Well, that's surprisingly insightful, Peach.
Oh, did you expect anything less from me?
Well, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I have to keep doing this. Plus, what if YouTube attacks again? I gotta be ready for them.
You got a game review in mind?
Yeah, I think I do. You ever hear of the legend of Brave Fencer Musashi?
Can't say that I have. You seem to choose really obscure games. Which would explain the very low view count and low subscribers, but hey, who's counting?
Well, strap in tight, little turd. It's time for a history lesson.
Did you just call me a little turd?
The year is 1998, a few months before Ocarina of Time comes out. Everyone is getting ready for what's shaping up to be the biggest game release of all time, something that no one could have known would pave the way for gaming for years to come. Usurping the competition, a little company known as Squaresoft decides to release a game they've been working on, a title known as Brave Fencer Musashi. The title would be loosely based on the real samurai, Miyamoto Musashi, and when I say loosely, I mean really fucking loosely. Though the game released decent scores and moderate fanfare, it didn't do as well as Square had hoped and kind of faded into the annals of gaming history. Not really a niche title, but nowhere near well as known as some of their other titles from the era, like, say, for example, Final Fantasy. And that's what Square was known for, Final Fantasy. But something most people forget is how much Square was experimenting at that time with other genres of games. This era of gaming brought us Einhander, Threads of Fate, I don't know how to pronounce it. The point is that Square wasn't afraid to try new things, something that you can't really say with a lot of confidence nowadays. So, what is Musashi? Well, it's a top-down hack-and-slash, somewhat dungeon-exploring Kirby game. That'll make sense later, trust me. Building on the foundation of games like The Legend of Zelda and that DOS Thor game that I haven't played since I was like 9, Brave Fencer Musashi is all about exploring a world and uncovering the story surrounding the main hero and his being summoned to the land of all-you-can-eat to stop the Thirst Quencher Empire. Silly names, right?
No, I'm not talking to you. You called me a little turd.
Oh, right, sorry. I was doing a thing. Look, when you're level 1, that's the title the game gives you.
I'm still not a little turd.
This game oozes with charm and personality. From the very beginning of the game, the voice acting is, surprisingly, pretty damn good for the time.
Triangles.
Princess Fillet sounds like a girl her age in the 90s would, the guy doing Stuart Ribson is hamming it up big time without sounding out of character, and Musashi, mwah, mwah, Mona Marshall, bring it home, baby!
Who did you say was puny? And why are you guys wearing such stupid costumes?
Seriously, Mona Marshall, the voice from Kite and Dot Hack, and Izzy from Digimon, stars in the titular role, and she fucking nails it. Musashi acts like a little turd, a punk-ass kid who seriously doesn't want to be here. So the game starts you off after being summoned by Princess Fillet. She tells you that they summoned you to get the legendary sword Lumina to return peace to the land. Before you set off on your quest, they inform you of how to get the sword and arm you with a pseudo-lightsaber, Fusion, and tells you about one of the main mechanics of the game: stealing abilities from enemies. The game teaches you how to do so, and you learn, most likely, your first ability, gunshot, allowing you to shoot down these logs. This will imprint on you that abilities aren't just going to be used for combat, and although the real application of using abilities outside combat is somewhat limited, there are plenty of times where this will come into play. You continue your trek and find Lumina, another point where you have to use an ability in an otherwise non-combat role. The head gets mad, chases you for a bit, you run through the sunset back to the castle. Once you get there, Rutrick has the princess.
I'm Rutrick, and you're...
The princess tells you about Lumina's main move, which is literally just the hero spin from Zelda, but who cares, it's cool. He summons his giant fucking robot, are you serious? That's so cool! Which you fight and subsequently kick the shit out of. This bitch Then it's nappy nap time and congrats, that's the tutorial. After that, the game drops you off in your room and this guy and that guy tell you about your quest. Princess has been kidnapped, along with most of the castle, and you've got to save them, and find the 5 scrolls and liberate the crest belonging to them. A hero's work is never done, right? A simple story? Yeah, and it's something most of us have seen before, especially from Squaresoft games. Find the MacGuffins, use their power, save the world. But Musashi presents it in such a light-hearted manner and tone that it almost feels like a parody or a love letter to the genre of storytelling that you can't help but let some of the charm ooze into your eyeballs.
That sounds gross. Thankfully, I don't have actual eyeballs, so I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
I mean, I could program ooze into
You do that? I'll program the castle defenses to think that you're a hostility.
I didn't write that into your code, you can't do that.
Oh, can't I?
Okay, Peach, that's nice. Please make the guns go away now.
Nah, I think I'm gonna leave them here for a bit.
I'm not kidding around, Peach. Please put the guns away. The game itself, like I said before, oozes with charm. Every townsperson has something to say to you, and it's usually either useful information or world building. For example, Mint here will tell you that Tim has a legendary helmet. Well, after talking to John here, and doing his quest, eventually leads you to an actual piece of the legendary armor, you can infer that people have actually retained the legend of Musashi, the original Musashi, who was summoned before you to beat the main bad guy, someone called the Wizard of Darkness. And they have grown with that mythos in their culture. It's a nice touch that really brings the world to life. Also, this is John, and he's voiced by Spike Spiegel, aka Steve, let me butter my toast with your smooth-ass voice, Bloom. John is a really cool guy, but he's stuck, and hungry, and thirsty. Get him some water, some good old bread, and he promises to teach you about the scrolls. So you do that, meet on top of Twin Peak Mountain, and he teaches you about legendary armor. That's cool too. Eventually, you do get the first crest after beating that dumbass Rutrick to the top of the mountain and liberate the crest guardian guarding it. You're gonna repeat this process time and time again, so get used to it. The first crest was fairly innocuous, but coming back to town you realize something is wrong. Rumors of vampire zombies, Vambies, are attacking villagers. They're coming out of the restaurant at night, so you have to sneak in and find out what's going on.
An empty soda pop bottle. What's this do?
Musashi, my dude, that ain't soda. Fucking localization, am I right? Peach, for the love of the great hiatus, please put the guns away.
Why should I?
Because I don't want to have to use an extra life to respawn.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you can do that.
Honestly, I did too.
Let's see. 992 lives? Holy crap! How do you have so many?
Bonus levels.
Oh, that must come in handy.
Well, for the most part, I can only respawn at the start of a level or if I'm at home in home base.
Level?
Yeah, like if I had lost a life inside of the YouTube base, I would have just respawned there.
That seems like a design flaw.
Like you said, comes in handy. Speaking of death, one of my favorite things in Musashi is death quotes. When you die, Musashi will say a line like, "Ugh, that's not it for me!" Or my personal quote, "If I'm gonna be reincarnated, I wanna be Musashi again." Then, when you respawn, Musashi wakes up in his bed like nothing happened, waking up from a dream and exclaiming how he has to get a move on. Again, it's little touches like this that really bring life into the game. Music's real good! Like, some of these themes are definitely gonna get stuck in your head. Of course, you've got the classics like Twin Peak Mountain or the castle theme, but my favorite is the one currently playing, a song that plays in one of the sections of the Vambi area. That's another thing I love, the music variety. There's so many locales and variations of places to go, and they each have their own individual music track. They range from somewhat orchestral pieces to this one, music that sounds like it belongs in a nightclub for ravers. Considering this game came out in 1998, the graphics are pretty phenomenal, at least in my opinion. I wouldn't say they're the best at the time. I still think the OG Crash Bandicoot games are the best looking games on the console, but for what the game is going for and working with, they're pretty stellar. The town looks like an actual town. The castle and its interior are spot on. The trail leading up the mountain feels like an actual mountain trail. Some of the one-off areas, like the raft riding area, and oh my god, what happened to you guys? Good graphics, these are not. I should probably talk about the saving people mechanic. Over the course of your journey, you'll come across various people that need saving from you trapped inside these Bincho fields, as they're called. Breaking them with Lumina, you'll be rewarded with a bit more Bincho power, which equates to basically magic energy, and if you visit them in the castle, some of them will actually help you. Whether that's giving you helpful advice, teaching you a new move, or helping you with a piece of the legendary armor, there's always a reason to go visit the castle. Speaking of characters, check out this piece of work. Her name is Bubbles, and she's one of the 2 Thirst Quencher Empire's Mist Thirst Quencher sisters. Apparently she came in second, and doesn't like that. You're stuck in the church with the Vambies, and how are you going to get out? Well, these guys are way too strong, so all you can really do is survive. Then, Musashi has the thunk.
Hey, it's almost morning.
The game actually uses its in-game timer to a good effect for a boss fight. I fucking love that! Anyway, now it's on to the next scroll. Some plot stuff happens, I won't ruin it for all of you, but I do gotta touch up on one thing. Kojiro. In the actual legend of Miyamoto Musashi, Kojiro was Musashi's greatest rival. The story goes that Kojiro challenged Musashi to a duel on an island and told him to arrive at a specific time. Musashi arrives hours later, unshaven and unbathed. Kojiro reprimands him for doing so, something samurai armor, and then puts him on blast for not even bringing his katana. Musashi, not caring and being the badass he was, simply grabs an oar from the boat and wins the fucking duel with it. He then thinks to himself, you know what? I'm gonna develop a sword fighting style using a katana and an oar, and comes up with the 5 rings style, which is what the 5 scrolls in the game are loosely based on. What a fucking beast. This Kojiro sucks. I mean, I think he's supposed to. It's not a terrible fight. I mean, he as a character sucks. He's the epitome of, haha, I'm your greatest rival. But I think that's what the game is going for.
Nate, do you have a rival?
A rival? No, but I have an archenemy.
Krieg, right?
Hey, you're learning.
Well, you had an archenemy. I'm pretty sure you blasted him into space dust.
Well, you can't be too careful. I didn't actually see his body.
Huh. Ominous.
We're probably fine. I don't think he's the villain this season.
Maybe you need a rival. Someone to really challenge you and push you to be better.
I am Nade, GrenademanBlitz's greatest rival.
Okay, nope, we're not doing this. Peach!
I'm on it.
That was great reaction time, Peach. You're getting really good at that.
I've been practicing.
Practicing? With what?
Oh, the Metars.
You've been blasting the Metars into space?
They said something about death before dishonor. Maybe they meant debt is a dishonor, because of the whole we want to raise thing. It's not like we paid them in the first place, but yeah, I've been shooting at them.
I have no idea how I'm gonna tie this back into the review.
Me neither. But hey, look, I can use a gun.
Giant ants! Giant ants invade the town, and you gotta go after them. Honestly, at this point in the game, I feel like I should have been shocked, but after dealing with vampire zombies, everything else is off the table. The Giant Ant Queen is the Crest Guardian for the Wind Scroll, and holy fuck, what an annoying fight. She bounces you in the air, you have to hit her tail with the Wind Scroll, the swipey move can track you. It's not impossible, it's just annoying. Anyway, onto the final area, the actual Thirst Quencher Empire. You make your way through a gauntlet of a fortress, fighting off some faces I didn't actually talk about. Why?
Because fuck them, that's why.
Anyway, this is Leader's Force. You met them earlier in the game, they're composed of Ed, Ben, and Topo. And as much as I like the 3 of them, they don't really get enough screen time to warrant something I'd call characterization. There is a running joke with them that they all claim to be the leader of the group, and I kinda dig that. It reminds me of the moles from Earthbound. Jokes like that show a bit more of character than it initially lets on, and it really gives them a bit of humanity. Sadly though, this is all you get from them. Except for Topo. Fuck Topo. Her fight isn't actually a fight, it's a dance party minigame where you have to memorize the button inputs and repeat them back to her on beat. I'm all for changing the mechanics of the game and having minigames, but it comes so quickly out of nowhere it's super unwelcome. Had they, say, earlier in the game, had a moment where you had to do this in a similar fashion to familiarize yourself with the mechanics and rhythm, I think it would have been much more well implemented. Still, it's not a grievous offense, it just kinda sucks. The final Crest Guardian is a giant laser tower. Somehow I'm actually a bit disappointed. After the first boss, the Ice Dragon, hell even the Queen Ant, this just kinda comes out of place. After you beat it, the big bad Führer Flatsky comes out and is all, "Blah blah blah, I have the princess, right-hand guy killed Musashi." And he's all, "Nope, I'm Steve Bloom." And then it turns out John is Capricola. Capricola being a bad guy that I didn't mention earlier, did I? Whatever, he's cool, but then he dies, and you give him Lumina, and oh man, Lumina was holding back the Wizard of Darkness. That's the beefiest wizard I've ever seen. Holy shit!
How many wizards have you seen?
In my line of work, you see a lot of wizards.
That doesn't make any sense.
So many wizards. He kills Flatsky, goes after you, but then fucking Kojiro shows up and gets absorbed by him and turns into this thing. And this fight sucks. I'm not a fan of it at all. You gotta bash in his head and run in for damage. It's not a real test of skill, it's just patience. But after you beat him, he turns into his final form, and this is a fight. He uses all of the scroll's abilities to attack you, forcing you to think out counters for every move. Honestly, it's a super good climax to the game, and you even have to use fusion on him. That's so cool. Anyway, the day is saved, peace is restored.
Oh, gracious me! And the name Musashi. You cannot be.
I'm the legendary brave fencer Musashi. How's it going, old man?
Oh my god, I love that line! And that's it. That's the end of Brave Fencer Musashi. What a fantastic little game. Objectively not even close to perfect, but the strong suits outweigh any flaws. And even then, the flaws are superficial. Sometimes jumping is a little wonky, the limited inventory space is a bit annoying, but overall it's a great game. It's a shame that Square doesn't try crazy things like this nowadays for the most part, focusing mostly on Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, but I can't blame them. Musashi didn't sell extremely well, but it's fondly remembered by lovers of video games and the PS1 everywhere. If you have the ability to acquire a copy and play it for yourself, I highly recommend you do so. Just stay away from the sequel, Samurai Legend Musashi. I'll let the game speak for itself. Hey, Samurai Legend Musashi, what do you think of your game?
Not good.
Hey, Peach, hey, Peach. Ask me if it's Christmas yet.
Nade, it's
Come on,
not
just
even...
come on. Just come on, do it. Just ask.
Okay, fine. Is it Christmas yet?
Not yet.
I don't get it.
And you never will. And with that, I feel a bit better, you know?
Why's that?
Because Musashi started off all whiny and lame, but by the end of the game, he had grown into his own, became a hero, and he did it selflessly. I gotta be more like that, you know? I don't have a billion fans, that's true, but I gotta do this because somewhere out there, someone watching my channel is excited when my next video comes out, and it brightens up their day. And that's what it means to be a good YouTuber.
Huh? That's really sweet of you.
Plus, if I stop now, I'll never get famous and rich.
Yeah, we're back to square one.
Alrighty, Peach, play us out!
Is this gonna be a thing?
As often as I want it to be. Good night, everybody. Video games are the best video games. Later!